Morning, good morning. We are going to take a look at document E today, the last document, before we go ahead and start to organize the scripts for our scenes next week. So this is the Martin Luther King Jr. document, MLK. Let's take a look at our sourcing at the bottom here. Excerpts from speech by Martin Luther King Jr. as reported by Anna Holden, a teacher at Fisk University, March 22nd, 1956, Montgomery, Alabama. All right, so it's in Montgomery, March 26th. It's a speech by Martin Luther King Jr. I'm going to highlight those two things for our sourcing. Also at the top, at this Montgomery Improvement Association weekly meeting, King speaks to the crowd. So this is the Montgomery Improvement Association weekly meeting. So he's speaking to basically the people organizing this bus boycott, this weekly meeting that they're doing. So that's it for the sourcing. Let's see what it says. Democracy gives us the right to protest, and that is all we are doing. We can say, honestly, that we have not advocated violence, have not practiced it, and have gone courageously on with a Christian movement. Ours is a spiritual movement, depending on moral and spiritual fortitude. The protest is still going on. Great deal of applause here. So again, we're looking for why was it successful? The Montgomery bus boycott. I think here, one part I'm going to highlight. Ours is a spiritual movement, depending on moral and spiritual fortitude, right? So what does fortitude mean, you're probably asking? Fortitude is like strength. So why was it successful? Moral strength, right? So again, for annotating the who, the protesters relied on moral strength. You could also include spiritual. Obviously, their belief in God is something that's going to play a big factor here. And this is a Christian movement. I'm going to highlight that part, right? We have not advocated violence. So here's a couple other reasons for why it was successful, right? They didn't advocate violence. It's a Christian movement. Let's keep going. Freedom doesn't come on a silver platter. With every great movement toward freedom, there will inevitably be trials. Somebody will have to have the courage to sacrifice. You don't get to the promised land without going through the wilderness. You don't get there without crossing over hills and mountains. But if you keep going on, you can't help but reach it. We won't all see it, but it's coming, and it's because God is for it. So that word because is a signal or a sign, right? He's giving you a reason. God is for it. God supports the movement. What else is important here? Again, what I'm highlighting isn't always what you would need to highlight. This is just what I think is important. You might find other things, but generally there is one main idea. I think the courage to sacrifice, right? If people don't sacrifice their lives or their time, it's not going to happen. So for me, the two reasons here: God's support and people's ability to sacrifice. I'm going to write people's ability to sacrifice and God's support were key. Let's keep looking here. We won't back down. Let me just, make sure you get this here. All right? If you want to pause and check that out. We won't back down. We are going on with our movement. So not much there. He's just kind of like transitioning in between paragraphs. Let us continue with the same spirit, with the same orderliness, with the same discipline, with the same Christian approach. I believe that God is using Montgomery as his proving ground. That's an important part. God be praised for you, for your loyalty, for your determination. God bless you and keep you, and may God be with us as we go on. So let's look for some more reasons why it was successful. Orderliness, right? They're not chaotically doing this protest. Everyone has a role. Everyone's sticking to it. Discipline. When he's listing here, he's listing how they can continue to be successful, right? He says, let us continue with the same spirit, the same orderliness, with the same discipline, with the same Christian approach. He's giving you all these reasons. He's kind of summarizing. I believe, keyword, I believe. Whenever you see that, stop. God is using Montgomery as his proving ground. All right? So what exactly does that mean? God is using Montgomery as his proving ground. It can mean a couple different things, right? This is God's first test to these people. Can you sacrifice in my name to, achieve these goals, right? That can mean one thing, right? Because a proving ground, you got to think about what that is, right? Are they worthy? Something like that. This is a test. I'm going to write test next to it. So I'm going to write next to it. All these words are highlighted. Spirit, order. We said discipline, right? Discipline. And the belief, right, for Christian approach, I'm going to say the belief in God for all of these, right? And the belief in God were key. Right? Why keep going if you don't think God is on your side? He's giving them an ally. He's giving them some morale. All right, so I think we broke this down pretty well. We're almost at 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and look at the questions. Let me just zoom out so you can see what we did here. All right, thanks.